All right, so in the last video, we made this cool looking table um, and made it our page. But we talked about the fact that we need to be able to do links. So now we're going to talk about links. Now, if you're to look at our two web pages, right, we have this one and we have this one here. This one obviously looks more like a main page than this does, right? This is colorful and it looks kind of nice, but it's not really a main page as we would see it. So our main page should always be called index.html. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap these two. And the easy way to do that is we're going to come down here and we're going to rename index.html and we're going to call this showcase.html. And when we hit enter, you're going to see, this may update here. It may actually put a line through it, showing that it's not there. It might be a good idea to just close both of those since we don't want to mess with the files while we're renaming. So we have one file called showcase, which is what used to be our main file. We're going to come down to tablepage.html and we're going to rename it. Which again, you can hit the F2 button, so you could select it and hit F2 as well. But I'm going to go ahead and right click on it and hit rename. And then we're going to call this one index.html because remember, our main page should always be called index, right? So if we do that, we'll go ahead and close this, and we right click on index and go to reveal and open it. Now it should look like our main page, right? Now we want to make a link to our showcase within this page, right? So how do we do that? Well, let's make another heading up here. So we've got contact us. Let's make another one here saying view our showcase, right? So we have another column right up in this table that we created with view our showcase. We'll come back over here and reload, and you can see view our showcase. And you might be looking at this going, these look like they're kind of all shoved together, right? How do we fix that? So there are things you can do. One thing you could do is set the border back to 1, right? That's an option, and then you can kind of see that. That's one thing you can do. You can also set the border width. So if we come over here, let's take border equals 1 and change it back to 0. And you could do a width tag down here in your TD. So you can do like TD width equals. And you could specify a number, but one thing we can look at these, right, there's 5 of them. So if we made each of these 20%, right, it would space them out. In fact, let's put the border back to 1 so we can see this. So if we do a TD width is 20% for each of these. And then we reload our page. You'll see it's kind of spaced them out a little bit, right? And that'll allow us to kind of turn off the border a little bit so you can see they're kind of spaced out a little better. And you can on your own play with the font size and the wording and stuff. This is sort of just a demo to see how this works, right? So, but you can see now it looks a little bit more like a menu, and we can even get rid of view our showcase and just make showcase. That'll probably make it look a lot nicer there, right? So we've got showcase. And then buy our stuff is a little big, so we might get rid of our stuff so it's not running into contact us, right? And so you can kind of see. The other thing you could do is make sure these, let's go ahead and turn the border on so you can see what I'm talking about. You can come in here and look and see how these are kind of left justified. So we might want to center these within here, within the cells so it looks a bit better. So we could just do a simple center. There are times that the autocomplete is helpful, and there are times when it is not. So you just center these things in there, right? And that should make it look a little nicer. So you can play with it and try different techniques to kind of make things look a little nicer, but hopefully this will give you a general idea. See, now everything's lined up a little better. Now if we remove the border, it should look a little clearer what we're trying to do. You could try shrinking down the font and so on. And you may decide you want to make this a little bigger of a border of a cell and this a little smaller. Like, you can play with it. But let's look at how to make Showcase now link to our Showcase page. We've got it up here. How do we link back? Because that's the whole point of this video, right, is how do we do links? So to do a link, you use the A tag. I know that's kind of strange. You would think it should be the link tag, but that is actually not what the link tag is used for. So we'll go in here and we'll type in A, and you'll see it does a /A. We're going to put that over here. And that'll make it a link, but it's not good enough to have a link that we can click on. So we can come over here and see, like, you got A and /A, and if we run it, nothing's happening to it. We can see view page source, and definitely has its A, because we haven't specified what that anchor does. So we have to go within this A tag and type in href, which stands for hyperlink reference equals, and then the name of the page. So in this case, it's showcase.html. So we have href, showcase.html, and then end the A tag, and then we have the final end with the / over here. Everything in between is clickable. So if I hit save and I reload our page, you'll see it now as a link, and when I click on it, it goes here. So now we might want to make a link here that goes back to that main page, right? And ultimately, we'd probably want Showcase to look like this and just have the Showcase down here, right? But for the sake of argument, we'll leave it like this, and we'll say we want to link back to that page. So you might want to pause the video here, see if you can figure out how to make a link back, and then come back to the video when you've done that and see if you got it correct. And if not, if you just want to see me do it, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So, but you should be able to figure it out. So to create the link back to the index page, we go on the Showcase page, and we'll put it maybe above the spike. Where the picture of spike here, we'll do href equals, and we want to go to showcase.html. No, index.html. We're on Showcase. Index.html. Click here. So if we do that, it's going to put the words click here, and when you click on it, it's going to go to index. So if I reload, there's now a click here, and I can now go back and forth between the two. Now, I mentioned that everything between the /A and the A becomes a link. It doesn't have to just be text. So I can come up here and take this Spike the Bulldog picture, right? And I can insert that image in between the A and the /A, and now that image will become a clickable link. So if I come over here, I can click on that image. So anything that you put between those two becomes a clickable link.